Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Zelda Mailbag for the Highland Gamescast episode 69. We are people that run this podcast. I'm Daniel. I am joined by Sublima underneath me, Ilya to the side of me, and Jesse is my diagonal. I mean, what? What's you?
Ilya.
Right. Yes, that's Ilya. Anyways, this is your chance to ask us all answer.
You cut out. Sorry.
And what?
You cut out.
What?
You cut it out.
Bananas.
Nice.
Okay, you guys can ask us your questions, but if you... Sometimes we have too many questions, and if you want to make sure that your question is answered and doesn't get lost in the list of questions that we get, you can join the GameOverJesse Patreon and join our wonderful friends like WildHorse64, Samuel, Ranjamin, Foxo, Andrew, Jonathan, David, Amanda, Jacob, Derek, Blargnar, Michelle, Mandy Lee Plays, Michael, Elmer, Bootleg Boy, Vortex, Gus, Monica, Link Uses the Triforce, Lunarium, Shadow to Us, Rusty, Lovable Christy, and Fallen Echo. And I think we will actually kick this off with a question from one of our patrons, Gus, who asked, if I have one question, what do you guys think it would be, or what do you think would be the next trend in gaming? The next big trend, like we've seen, like, I don't know, VR is kind of the big thing that's starting to pick up now, but what's in the future?
I would say the current thing is like we're in the middle of like the battle royale thing, like Fortnite and everything.
Yep.
I would say like games kind of like Breath of the Wild took like the open world concept and expanded upon it to where, like, if you're playing Skyrim or Final Fantasy 15 or The Witcher 3, it's a huge open world that when you play it, it gives you the feeling that you can go anywhere and do anything. But then you play Breath of the Wild to where, like, there are no borders. Like in Final Fantasy 15, after I went back to it after Breath of the Wild, like I would come across a cliff and I would just be like, okay, well, I'll just climb up the cliff. But you can't. It's basically just like a wall border that keeps you from going somewhere. Where Breath of the Wild was like there wasn't anything. If you had the stamina, or if you could like get enough fruit or food, whatever, to get your stamina up, then you would be able to climb it, no matter how tall it is. And I think it would be something like that, or maybe the game that Alanuma has said that he wants to work on, to where it is like Breath of the Wild, but then you can have your friends in. So like it's a team of 3 or 4 of you that can go anywhere and do anything. So yeah, for me, I would say it would be games sort of copying what Breath of the Wild did, to where like there are no borders. There is nothing stopping you from doing anything. You can just do it. Like if there's a wall blocking your path, then blow up the wall, or tear down the wall, or catch it on fire, or climb over it, or whatever. So I think it would just be that, like just taking the open world concept and expanding on it. Like Alanuma kept on calling Breath of the Wild open air, and everyone's like, what does that even mean? You made that up. What is that? But now I know it's open air because most of the time you're not traveling on the world, you're traveling in the air. So I kind of get it. But yeah. Choobs, what about you? Does your plushie have any ideas?
No.
Cool shirt,
actually, so I did want to add to something. I was saying that I was married to myself. I actually have several different types of Chewbacca's in my house.
Oh boy. You are one of them, right?
Yeah.
With your onesie?
Oh yeah.
Snuggie.
Where do you keep that?
Yes.
Oh, it's a Snuggie, okay.
Oh, I have a Snuggie.
Yeah. He's called Deformed Chewbacca. That's how they sold him on. That was...
Why is he deformed?
I don't know. I think he looks fine.
He looks just fine. That's so rude.
Anyways, I think one fad that I would love to see with gaming come back would be like like people and more like MMO based games again. Like I feel like that really died out, and there aren't really a lot of big ones out there right now that a lot of people will go towards, aside from like the, you know, the regulars like World of Warcraft. I think Elder Scrolls Online is still a thing.
RuneScape.
No, Fallout 76.
RuneScape's not
kind of
RuneScape's
edging
not
in
a
on
thing.
that market.
Yeah. I would love to see like more of that. I know one that we've all been, I talk about in my friend group is that we're hoping that League of Legends would do a MMO, just because they are gearing up to something big, but we don't know what it is. So we're just like, fingers crossed, MMO, because there's so much lore.
It's a Connect 3 puzzle game. Where like you have to match the 3 different colors, like Tetris.
Oh. Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
That's what they're building up to.
The other thing that I could think of is like if they were able to make video games more like Ready Player One. Like really just immerse you into the video game. That's like the other thing.
Next level VR.
Yeah, exactly. Next level VR. I always think like Sword Art Online, when that anime first came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this anime, but sorry to anyone that's a weeb in the chat. But I loved like the concept of just like being in the game forever. So that's like my little weeb heart just saying,
wow,
I want to do that. But definitely MMOs.
Really quick, someone mentioned it in the chat one day, but
okay.
It was a long time ago they mentioned it. They mentioned it on the Discord as well, because there was a fan of the podcast that joined the Discord. But they mentioned like a Dungeons and Dragon thing, but like Zelda themed. I think that would be really cool. That's not necessarily video game, but it is gaming. Like they have the Monopoly board and stuff, so like they're kind of halfway there, because like it's all board games. But yeah, I would really like that, like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign thing that's like set in the world of Zelda.
That is something that you don't even have to have. That doesn't need to be made. You can do it.
Well, I'm not smart, so.
Okay, but you could do it, yeah. Right now, like we've already seen like a lot of really neat trends, motion controls, whatever. There's this whole retro revival movement that happened where like suddenly 8 16-bit games became really cool again, and we saw tons of indie games kind of come out into that trend, and like Shovel Knight and Celeste and all these really cool indie games. And then there's sort of this trend of games that are becoming a little more cartoony by design, not just like Wind Waker with cel shaded, but like literally hand drawn sprites and things like Cuphead. And I just really like this artistic trend that's happening where these games are really getting creative with how they look aesthetically. Like Hollow Knight, I think, is another really good example of having that sort of very hand-drawn aesthetic. That's something that I would like to see more of, to be honest, because that stuff gets me. The only other thing I can think of is there's also been something of a return to form to sort of these small-scale sandbox games. Mario Odyssey being one of my favorite examples, but the other ones like basically Ukulele, yeah, that was what I was going to think of, where they're trying to like, we've had this retro revival movement where 8 and 16-bit games are kind of coming back into style. And now the games from sort of that N64 era, where they've got these small-scale sandbox games, where you've got these little worlds that are broken up like that.
And collectathons too.
Spyro,
yeah, these
Crash.
collectathons. And, yeah, now you got those games kind of coming back into the limelight with their remasters, and I can see that being kind of the next trend that the games go, like all these games from that era, not just remakes of those games, but new games that take a return to form of games from that era. So
I think
I would love that, because the soundtracks are...
I think they said that because of the popularity of the Crash, that they were going to make a new Crash game, but I don't know. I know they, like, it was so popular that they ended up the Crash Racing, like they've remade it, and I think they mentioned something about like creating a new Crash, or maybe that was just like a rumor that I read. I don't know. Yeah, it would be really cool. I really like those games to where it's like an open world, but it's just like a smaller world. Like in Mario, you jump through the paintings and stuff. It's really weird. Like, I would say like Mario Odyssey was the one that kind of brought that back, but Ukulele came out before it, and Ukulele I thought was really good. They reminded me a lot of Banjo Kazooie.
That was the intent.
Yeah. Well, like there's a lot of people. It's like it's too modern or like modernized to be like a Banjo Kazooie thing, and it's like it's developed for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One generation of console. They could have made it like super modern to where it like used every bit of graphical power that it could to create weird puzzles or do whatever it was, but they didn't. They just made it like simple Banjo-Kazooie. Like you could sort of picture it scaled down to like a Nintendo 64 style game. Yeah, that's my thought. Did you go, Ilya?
No. I don't really follow trends. I just kind of like the games I like. But as far as what I actually think might be the next trend, all I can really give as far as my opinion on that is it'll be something very community based. I think it'll be along the lines of like the fact that with these battle royale games, being able to play with so many people at once and having all these friends, you know, Smash, Mario Kart, all these games, I imagine the trends will usually be community based. I don't know how else to word that.
No, that's good. Cool.
And also there's a question that I think is really cool.
Cool. Well, why don't we? I think that wraps that one up. So why don't you?
Yeah.
If you've got a cool one.
Or at least I think it's cool because I have an idea. So I'm like, oh, I would want this. So in the live chat, Abigail asks, if you could choose any franchise to be game franchise to be given a spin-off in Zelda style, as in like having dungeons and adventuring, what would you choose? I would actually say Pokemon. I think it would be interesting for them to have a spin-off game that, because I think of this because I've been watching the anime, binge watching it, and I'm on season 5.
Did you watch the movie?
And I think about like I haven't watched the new movie. No, I've only ever watched the first one, and whichever one came out like 2 years ago. But in the shows, like they have always like this little quest that they have to go on because there's an issue in Team Rocket, and I feel like it could be based loosely on the type of stuff that happens in the stories of the anime, which I know that's a separate thing. But I would find that fun, like if you were able to somehow connect it with your like Let's Go Pikachu or whatever like the main Pokemon game is. So you already have all of these trained Pokemon. You already know what you want your team to be, and you can jump right in, or have it just be like an extra thing. I don't know. I just think that'd be interesting because I like the anime. So at least right now I do.
Yeah. It's like the GameCube Pokemon games, like Colosseum, sort of had like a dungeon-esque feel, because like you're not really wandering around in the overworld. It's more of like a serious, darker take on it. Not as much as like Twilight Princess was for Zelda, but it was more of like a more adult-oriented Pokemon game. As adult-oriented as a Pokemon game could be, I guess. But yeah, it sort of had that, and then there's like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That's odd.
I never played any of these, so that's why I didn't think of them.
They're not amazing. Like you play as the Pokemon, and then you run around and help other Pokemon. But it's, I don't know, it's odd. You okay, Choops?
Sorry, I'm laughing because I was like trying to cross my legs on the chair, and my chair started spinning, and I was just like.
GG.
Yeah. Who has the next question?
I didn't answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, Daniel didn't either. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go.
Just gonna yell. It's fine.
Answer.
This is a hard question because I was thinking about it. A lot of the games that I play are RPGs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like Breath of the Wild. It's an RPG.
Yeah, it has that, or at least
Animal Crossing.
I was gonna say Animal Crossing, and I was like, my answer for everything is Animal Crossing.
I don't blame you. It's an awesome series game.
No.
I got nothing personally, so I'm gonna just have a pass on this because I can't think of any game that I would want to do this with. Like
most of the games we
Pokemon
play
is, like,
tend to be dungeons.
Yeah,
So-
and Pokemon
Yeah.
is like the best answer for that. That's the one game that you could really take it anywhere.
yeah, it's versatile enough.
And
that
they
every other
have.
game.
in a sense.
Every other game that I can think of that I like would either lose too much of the core of that game, or it already is too much like that to actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Metroid,
What?
sort of. Like, it's like a giant dungeon, I guess. The older
Yeah.
ones. You're just like going back and forth, collecting items, going to new areas. Like in Zelda, you get the hook shot, and then you can like backtrack and go to new places in the dungeon. But it's like on a larger scale for Metroid. Yeah. Maybe
You know?
Fire Emblem, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of like moving, like I'll go to this space.
Like take more of those like JRPG games and turn them into more of a regular RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I like that.
Yeah.
So it's like the one thing that I really liked about like especially the Final Fantasy games is like the turn-based combat style. But then the other thing I really liked was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. So good. Yeah.
Some of the Final Fantasy games have like dungeon-esque levels where like there's puzzles and stuff that you gotta do.
Mhm,
Sorry, Choops,
mhm.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I'll mute
Oh
myself.
no, that's okay. But yeah, that's all I got. Nothing. That's it. Next question.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
I am going to answer a question from the man/boy cave, as he did give us a super chat earlier, so he didn't have a question at that time, but it looks like he did just have a question. So, the man/boy cave asks, would you rather have a Switch Mini or a Switch Pro? And to that, a Switch Pro. I don't like the Nintendo Switch as it is. I don't think it's too big. I don't have a problem with it. I'm also like, I normally carry a bag with me, so that might be different too. Like, I always have like a backpack or like a tote bag or something, so that's also a little bit different. I could kind of understand for people that maybe don't have that much space with them when they're out and about. But the Pro, I think, would be better because then I could like think about like all of the new games that would come out and how beautiful they would be. And if there was a Pro, I'd probably be more likely to actually use my TV for Nintendo Switch. So
Yeah.
Well, I think I brought up my idea, which is neither, but you get a Pro dock.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Pro dock.
that's a
Yeah.
good idea. Yep.
I want
That's what
that.
I was thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, I've talked that idea to death in previous episodes. Switch is, as Marsupial Gamer sums it up in the chat, the Switch is mini enough.
Yeah.
Plus, if it
Yeah.
was mini, you would need a new dock for it. Basically, it wouldn't fit with the current dock.
Mhm.
'cause
And would the controllers
Take-
be smaller?
you have to take the Joy-Cons off and put it in the dock. Then I guess.
The controllers are already so small.
Yeah, they don't
Well,
need
that's
to
the thing,
be
too.
any smaller.
So is it just the screen that you're crunching down? Because then, like, do you really want
That'll
a
be
smaller
weird.
screen than that? I don't know. But a Pro one, like just a Pro dock, then I don't need to get a new Switch. I already have two. I don't need another one, and you know that I would buy it probably. So I really don't want them to do it, so I can save my money. But we're also 2 years now into the Switch's life, and there's been no word of it other than people speculating. So I don't anticipate either happening, but that's
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want a mini, and because of how long, I can't just buy things as they come out. Typically, I'm getting closer to the point financially where I can do that, but right now that's just like not possible. So if a Switch Pro came out, it would be like 3 or 4 years before I got one, and part of me would be like, I already have a Switch, And so I like Daniel's idea of just make an accessory that can give pro features. Don't make me buy an entire $300 Switch. I mean, no one's making me buy it. I choose to buy it. I don't want to feel obligated. So I'd rather neither.
I agree. I would want, like, if I had the option to where, like, I could just choose and have it for free, then I would like to have just a more powerful Switch that wouldn't really need a dock. But if I'm paying, then I would rather pay like $100, $150 to get a dock instead of $300-$400 for an entirely new Switch. Yeah, like I don't know who would really want a mini unless you're just like a little kid that kind of has trouble carrying around like the giant Switch.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But does Spencer have a simple enough time with it?
Yeah, he's got no problem with using the Switch or whatever. It's very easy. It's not too big for him. He plays it predominantly in handheld. I play mine predominantly docked. So but I can do either way. He could theoretically do either way. Just a preference thing, but like that's kind of the nice thing about it, I guess. But the size of it, I don't think it's really a big deal. I can't imagine it being smaller. Just
imagine
hands
like
would start cramping.
the L and R button on like the Joy-Cons.
They're small.
So like you'd have these, but they're like it'd just be even tinier.
Yeah.
Also, I don't have a
That would just be
thumbstick. See that? There's no grip.
I think you need a new set of Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I want to get the red and blue ones, but or like the Splatoon ones.
The Splatoon ones are beautiful.
Yeah,
I have too many Joy-Cons, guys. I have 8
I need another set.
yeah.
I have, I guess, 2 sets now, but that's because my dad had a set. It was from the Super Mario Odyssey bundle.
Nice.
So I took those ones because I needed to sample, and he stopped using them because he said one of the joysticks were broken. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with the joystick. What's wrong with you? And then I started using it for, I can't remember what game I was playing, but I went to press in the right thumbstick and that button doesn't work. And I was like, oh, I see what's broken about this. This is perfect for demoing for children.
Depending on what game you're playing, it's not really a big deal, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I could probably just like be like, hey, this isn't working, and they'd probably fix it for me.
True, fair. Yeah, I like the Mario Odyssey red a little better than the neon red that comes with the red blue Joy-Cons, but the Splatoon ones are my favorite. I just like how, but
I would love to be able to get custom colors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have seen some beautiful custom Nintendo Switch consoles. Like there is a pink one. Bless.
I would want a nice, soft rose pink.
Yeah.
So it's like my favorite color.
So
the theme of my room, but you can't see it.
Like 3 minutes ago, we have a new Patreon supporter. Justin. I don't know if they want me to say the last name, so just Justin.
We'll just say Justin.
Yeah.
Justin.
I imagine.
Is it Halo Justin?
There was someone in the chat named Justin.
Halo Justin.
Oh,
yeah, he's in my Discord.
Sweet. Thank you, Justin.
Aww.
He's in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, nice.
He here. You guys.
How do you?
I can't read that.
Can't read that. Oh, now I see it.
There, cleared up.
Hey,
I
you
can't
said
read
you
it.
didn't want to show the last name, and then you did, you dingleberry.
Jazzy, shut down the stream.
How do you spell? How do you spell Justin? You said Halo Justin? How to spell?
So HALOJUSTIN, and then it was one.
Yeah.
But he's in my Discord too.
Okay, yeah, I saw him there. I just want to make sure because.
Thank you,
Okay,
Justin. If you have a question, you can give it because we need to end soon because it's almost 11 my time, and I have to go to the grocery store, and it closes at 12.
I have bedtime in 2 hours, so
Yeah.
Oh, he just said hi.
If we don't get one from him, though, we do actually have another Patreon question.
Well, we'll do that
to
one
get
as
to.
the final one, and then if he gives a question
good.
before we finish, then we can get his as well. But
Okay.
go ahead and get the Patreon.
Sure. Well, it's from. I just noticed Fallen Echoes now in the Patreon list here, and he submitted a question. It says, "What is your least favorite Zelda title,
Ooh,
and why?"
Title?
Well, I guess I'm guessing he means the game,
game.
of the Zelda games. Your least favorite Zelda.
Phantom
Game.
Hourglass.
Mine's also.
I don't like Phantom Hourglass.
Just
I don't dislike Phantom Hourglass, but I like all the other Zelda games better
Well,
than I like Phantom Hourglass.
it's like all the backtracking and that Ocean King dungeon thing, whatever it is. I just hate it. It's like doing the same thing.
Okay, so my thing with Phantom Hourglass is that was the 2D Zelda game that ruined them all for me. That was like the one that I got on my DS. Play this, and I absolutely hated it. I just could not. And then there was the part where you had to like scream at your DS, and then you had to like
You can just-
close the DS, and I was like, what is happening and why am I doing all this? I hate it.
Yeah, just-
And I didn't even beat that game. I got like halfway through and I was like, I think I got to the part where you have to scream at your DS and I stopped playing.
You don't have to scream at it. You can just go into the mic. You
Just
I
blow
know.
into
go
it.
and
I know.
bang on Miyamoto's door.
I was just
'Cause I wouldn't want to scream. I would never scream it, honestly,
God,
because
no.
like I don't
I was
want
just
like,
so
like,
shook.
I was at 16, 17 when I first played it, and like alone in my, I don't want my mom like hearing me alone in my bedroom and just screaming suddenly.
come in. What are you
You
screaming
know
at?
my mother, she will
Pleasure,
burst in the
Zelda.
room being like, "Are you dead?" Like, no, I'm just screaming into my DS. Like
Could be worse things to
Like-
scream into.
I guess, I don't know. Like so either that or she'd make wild, horrible assumptions about what I'm doing in my bedroom, which involves screaming for some reason. So
I think
so yes, Phantom Hourglass. I don't dislike it, but the thing is I do find it's the hardest game for me to go back to after having played it, because there is a lot of backtracking, and in Spirit Tracks there is also a lot of backtracking. But whenever I think about playing one of those two games, I think I would really want to play Spirit Tracks. It took everything that was good about Phantom Hourglass, took out all that bad stuff, and just built on that good stuff, and improved the music, and improved the UI, it improved the graphics a little, not that much, but a little. It made the overworld transportation so much easier to manage and better. Because like if you were with Phantom Hourglass, when you're in the boat and you have to like draw on the line on the map of travel, and this isn't something I necessarily discuss a lot, but I have tremors. For those who do not know, I can't hold my hands super steady, and so drawing a straight line on that map is very difficult for me. And so to be able to just toggle or go along the train tracks, whatever, super smooth and easy. But for me, drawing a line on that map, suddenly my boat is chugging along the water, and it's like, like freaking going all over the place. And I'm like, how are they not seasick and thrown overboard? Like,
Oh my gosh.
it's terrible. It's a mess. So it's not. They're also to say this. My hand tremors are not the worst ever. They're not that bad. But like there are times where something like that can happen, and it's like, okay, this is difficult for me. So that's a thing. just putting that out there. That's maybe a me thing, but I just if there's really no other games that I find hard to control, and the rest of the touch controls I don't have a problem. It's just that part. But there's so much of it that you have to do in that game. You're sailing so often, so it's very annoying. So that's my little rant fest. Sorry, guys.
no. So a while back there was the trademarks that Nintendo filed for like Spirit Tracks on mobile devices and stuff, and I always thought that they could fix Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks if they gave it like traditional controls. That way, like, you're not using the little stylus. I don't know. Anyways, so in the chat, Justin.
Oh, I haven't answered yet.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say Justin said that he put a question in the mailbag. If Daniel wants to do it. Okay.
My answer is pretty short. I mean, it's kind of confusing because it's like there are several games I haven't played, and part of it is just because I'm just not interested, which sounds weird. It's like, it's Zelda, you should be interested, unless it's CDI, we don't count that. But so if we're talking about games I've actually played like all the way through, there isn't one I dislike, so saying my least favorite is not saying much, to which I'll just say Link's Awakening. It's like, out of all the games I've played through, I do not hate any of them, and I love all of them. So, you know, like, putting that one at the bottom is like, what does that really mean? But as far as ones I've at least dabbled in, or watched Let's Plays of, and just realized I had no interest, Triforce Heroes.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually played it, so I can't really say too much.
I never finished it, because we were going to play together, Jesse, and we never did.
Yeah.
We both forgot.
I mean...
Wait, is that a game on the DS?
3DS.
3DS, yeah.
It came after
I think
Link
I
Between
downloaded
Worlds.
that game so we could all play it.
Oh.
I might would enjoy it if I was playing with other people, like Four Swords, but I think I would prefer Four Swords Adventure than I would to Triforce Heroes, even that.
You could play Four Swords with us?
Four Swords Adventures may have been my pick, and because the only time I'd played it before was by myself. And then when Jesse and I played together, and we had some other friends and stuff, like playing the game as intended with other people, I had tons of fun with it. So it definitely moved up my list.
We had to keep saving tubes because she
did.
Oh my gosh! Don't remind me how bad the internet was there.
Throwing me into a bottomless pit. But that aside, yeah, it's funny though. It reminds me we answered almost the same question years ago when I was doing the Zelda Informer podcast with Nathaniel Rumpfeljans, and then at the time Darren, who worked at Zelda Informer. I don't think he's still doing Zelda Informer.
Yeah, he did. Like, I got a message or something from him earlier, and I looked at his status, and it said Zelda Informer. So maybe he went back.
I'm not sure, but his favorite game was Phantom Hourglass, and all of us jumped on it, and he was upset, and I felt really bad.
Oh,
well, but Nate said his was Zelda 2.
That's his favorite Zelda game. Yeah. Well, no, it was. I think it's now. He said in a recent video it's now his second favorite. So I think Breath of the Wild might have actually inched it out. But I know he really liked Skyward Sword too.
They are the only two Zelda games you can jump.
But also, I think with Nate, like, I feel like Zelda 2 would be more like. I feel like that's like his nostalgia game.
Oh yeah,
and that's probably
that was the
why
case
he
with
likes it so
Darren
much.
because it was the first Zelda game he played.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We need to hurry and do the final thing.
Okay.
Yes. Justin's
final question.
I got like
Who wants to read this bad boy?
I can read it since I have it right here.
Do it.
Yeah. So, Justin asks, do you think Nintendo would make a Zelda bundle collection like Kingdom Hearts did with their games, with remakes and exclusives? I would like it if they did. I would love it if they were like, look, here's Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD put on the Switch, along with maybe a new thing. I would love that. Do I think they will? I honestly don't know. Sometimes I think, yeah, I could see them doing that, and then other times I'm like, no, they may not because of this. So I don't know. I would want it, though.
The only bundles I can think of that were Zelda games was the Collector's Edition on the GameCube. Wind Waker pre-order came with Ocarina of Time. Those two were like bundled together with Master Quest as well. A Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance came with Four Swords. So I could see them doing it again in the future, especially if it was like... The thing is, like, if they did Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, they would easily be able to sell each individually for $60. So if they bundled it together, they would be losing money because they could just sell them individually and make just as much or more. So,
But I want them to.
yeah, like, it would be great if
Yeah.
they did.
I would love that.
Yeah, like
It might, from a certain standpoint, actually make more. Like if they bundled Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and bundle as 100, yeah, that'd be like $20 less than selling each of them individually.
Yeah.
But people might be like, "Oh, I'm getting a discount and I get both games." Great. Whereas if you sold them separately, I would be like, "I'll get Wind Waker. I'm not gonna get Twilight Princess."
That's true. And
But
there
that's-
might be
it
people
depends.
who would only buy one or the other. That would end up just getting the bundle. So you kind of guarantee those sales as well as the hardware.
It would really depend on the demographic and
Yeah.
luck, honestly.
yeah,
So
Like, I
it could
know
go either way.
Twilight Princess is the only good Zelda game other than Ocarina of Time, and I'm like, what the hell? But I've met people who are like that, and I'm like, I don't know where you're.
They're both great.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just because you didn't play the other ones, but sure, man. Like, but then if this were to come out, they're like, okay, I'll play Twilight Princess again, so they buy it. Maybe they end up giving Wind Waker a shot and enjoying it, you know. So
Yeah.
I could see them doing it the way that Pokemon releases, to where like if they did release a bundle, then like it would be
mhm.
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask separately, but then you could also buy the bundle. Like you could have bought Eevee and Pikachu together. I think there was bundles for the 2 Oracle games when they released as well. So I could see them doing that, and then they could make money from the individual sales as well as money from the $100 bundle together.
Mhm.
What about you, Tubes? What about you?
As you guys mentioned, it would be the best way to get people that haven't played it.
Nose.
It's a nose piercing. I have 2.
Oh,
And also glasses. I mean, glasses are technically on my nose.
yeah.
Where they reside. They rest on your nose and ears.
You have glasses,
anyways.
Daniel?
I think that
No,
No.
not yet.
that train of thought keeps leaving. Definitely, like, it's a good way to get people that haven't played all these other Zelda games to play them. And cash grab for Nintendo, I'd buy that. How many times do I gotta buy the game for me to buy a bundle with all of them? Tune in next time as I buy Breath of the Wild for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Like I have it for Wii U and Switch.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I always.
I had it for both. I ended up actually selling my Wii U copy, but I mean, yeah, I still have 2 Switch copies of Breath of the Wild, and if they did and I have, you know, like Majora's Mask, it's basically 2 versions and plus a ROM hack of it, and so I mean, I just like
Right?
I would still buy the bundle. That's the thing. So
I think just like the bundle, and also like if they packaged it differently, would be a really big sign for collectors.
that's true.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So everybody went.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I am GameOverJesse, or Jesse. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook. We have a Facebook fan page. Sounds weird saying that, but I guess that's what Facebook calls it. It's a Facebook fan page, facebook.com/GameOverJesse. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram. Everything is literally just /GameOverJesse. There's a Facebook group as well that you can join. There's a few people in there that chat. There's the Discord that everyone chats in. There's like 1,100 something people in it. The biggest, to my knowledge, most popular Zelda Discord server in the world. And yeah, I guess that's everything. Ilya, hi. You just passed 100,000 subscribers. No,
No.
1,000 subscribers.
That would be a huge jump. And I wouldn't know what to do.
Game over Jesse and subs. Done. Peace out, guys.
No, oh, wait, hold on. We might have actually... No, oh. Okay, so we're really close to 73,000.
73?
But we're at 73,953. I thought we were going
You
to
mean
pass
72?
it. No, it says 53. 72,953.
Okay.
You said
73,900.
Oh. I'm sorry.
But we knew what you meant.
Yeah, but less than 50.
Yes.
So.
But yeah, I am the Geek Apprentice, which you can find me on both YouTube and Instagram by that name. I just passed 1,000 subscribers and have a video talking about that. Yeah, I make very geeky videos, Harry Potter, Zelda, Disney. I have a Marvel video that'll be coming like in the next couple months or something. And this Saturday I have a Q&A live stream. I might play games or something. And yeah, you can check out the video I posted today for information about celebrating 1,000. So check me out there if you would like. Yay.
Alright, Shoops.
Okay, I am Shubalima. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. What else do I use?
RuneScape.
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram are like the big places. I post most often on Twitter, so you can follow me at Shublima. I finally have a computer desk, so I am ready to rumble and ready to stream again. Not tomorrow though, because I have a ramen date with friends. But
Banjo.
No, I rage quit on Banjo. When I pop on stream again, I will be finishing Ocarina of Time. I just finished the Water Temple. Yeah,
You're good.
that's me. That's what I do.
Daniel.
Yeah, I'm Daniel. You feel free to, if you feel so inclined, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at CaptBurgerson, CaptBurgerson. You can also check out my website where I post all my other projects. And if you're interested in seeing, maybe want to pay me to do a thing for you, including not pay me for the free music that's on there, whatever. If you like video stuff, go check out my website. It's burgersonmedia.com. And my YouTube channel, which I actually have some video ideas finally, time in like a friggin' year. I recently uploaded a video and then got some ideas actually cooking here. So you can check that out. That's NSHG Films. You probably have seen me in the chat there. Yes, other than that, I typically stream on Twitch under Capt Ferguson Tuesdays and Wednesdays, at least once or twice a week on those days. Just finished A Link to the Past. There were some issues with getting my N64, both of them, to work on the stream. So we just started streaming Blossom Tales, which is a really great indie game that we've talked about on the podcast before. Very Zelda-esque. You guys should go and check that out. But yeah, that's who this human is. So thank you guys. And who's Jesse?
Oh, I already said.
He already.
No, say it again.
I am the Geek Apprentice, Ilya.
No, I am the Geek Apprentice.
I am part Kokori. Is that how you say it? Kokori?
Kokiri. I'm the one that voiced the Kokiri.
Yeah. I posted all of our things in the chat. Thank you to the 40 people still here almost at midnight Eastern time watching us. I assume there would have been a lot more, but we had like 5 false starts, so they probably...
Technical difficulty.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Tune in next week around this time. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about some other stuff, but bye.
Bye.
How do I stop it?
You hit stop stream. Keep waving. Keep waving.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.